The desire for success and fulfillment is one of the most basic human aspirations. But what constitutes success? One of the foremost scriptural pronouncements we see in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which says that for human attainments, it is our deeds which is the basis of our success. What is our deeds is what we eventually reap. Siddhir bhavati karmaja, says the Bhagavad Gita, which means that success is born of action, and thus it lays the law of karma. This law is essentially a reflection of cause and effect, and with which we are very familiar in the physical world, in the Newtonian physics. And this law is no exception. Now, if we have a look at the life of some of the eminent people of our times, be it the like of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was a great scientist and eminent statesman, be it a musical genius like Lata Mangeshkar, or be it a cricketing legend in Sachin Tendulkar, in their own words, all of them say that secret of their success is their sweat. It is their hard work. But the question arises as to what sanctifies our life, our action, and our success. Yadrishi bhavana yasya siddhir bhavati tadrishi, which means that as is our thoughts, so is our attainment. And therefore, it is the purity of our thought which provides sanctity to our action, to our success. The Dhammapad, a Buddhist treatise, lays emphasis on watching our thoughts, on the purity of our thoughts. The theory of Nishkam Karma in Bhagavad Gita combines the principles of action and our thought. And it says to the Karma Yogi to perform his virtuous duty without any desire for the results thereof, with detachment. In modern times, we find that the life of Mahatma Gandhi and his deeds has been a living embodiment of Nishkam Karma, where he emphasized on the right means for the right ends. But the question arises as to how the theory of karma translates in our lives. And does it have any resonance, especially in the life of the youngsters? Well, I remember when I was in standard 10th, and that was 35 years ago, I was once very dejected. I had failed to qualify for an elocution competition which was within the students of class 10th. Well, it mattered to me at that point of time, but another opportunity came my way in form of extempore speech contest. But I was too dejected and dismayed even to register for it. In fact, I was very scared as to how would I compete with the boys of standard 12th, and how would I even deliver a talk in which so limited time for preparation is going to be given. But on being encouraged by a friend, give it a try, I registered at the last moment and somehow made it to the finals. I worked hard, and there I won a gold medal. It gave me confidence, self-belief, and a few weeks later, in the English extempore contest, I again won another gold medal. And as if to prove that this was no fluke, the next year I was able to repeat this golden double. These were some of the initial early successes of my life. They gave me confidence, they gave me self-belief, and that also reflected in my studies. I emerged as the topper in the 12th board examination in my school, and that meant a lot. I was even successful in one of the prestigious engineering competitions which was conducted by the Union Public Service Commission, in which only a handful was selected out of 100,000. I believed that my ability to express myself And the confidence that I had, I could do well in the interviews. And a few years down the line, in the Civil Services Personality Test, again conducted by the Union Public Service Commission, I was able to score one of the highest marks ever, which enabled me to secure a position in the Indian Revenue Service, where I still continue to work. Now, like countless others, these were some of my successes. And what did I learn from them? Well, hard work pays. It paid to me. Success for me lied in that singular moment when I was able to overcome my trepidation, when I was able to believe in myself, when I was able to continue on that path of action without the fear of any defeat, just for the sake of action. And success meant to me self-belief. And with success came self-belief. And with success comes the opportunity for further successes, because the doors open, but then the bar is raised higher and one has to strive harder. Now, in our tryst with success, where do we place providence? Now, it is said in the Garud Puran, Sukham Dukham na kopi data, which means that nobody else but we ourselves are the cause of our own joy and our own sorrow. And therefore, our providence is a function of our own karma, some of which is manifested and some of which is to be manifested. Now, if we look at the lifestyle diseases that we are facing, a lot of diseases like cancer, who's responsible for it? Is it our faulty lifestyle, our indolences, our indulgences, modern food habits? If you look at the human action in the last few decades, we see that we have ravaged the resources of earth ruthlessly. We have felled the forest with impunity. We have brought so many species to extinction that now the ecological balance is disturbed. We have spewed venomous gases in the atmosphere, and now we face the consequences. We choke with pollution. We face increasing floods and droughts. We face new diseases. Recently, the United Nations chief on climate change mentioned that the whole world is on the highway to environmental hell. We reap the benefits of our own actions in form of material prosperity, in form of economic gains, and now we pay the price, and so will our future generation. In our quest for success, the next element is Gyan or knowledge, and that is extremely vital. Be it the domain of academics, where the knowledge of books is so important, or be the practical domain as in administration, where apart from law, apart from regulations, it is the experiential knowledge which is very important. And knowledge is like that beacon of light which not only lets us know where lies our destination, but it also illumines the path on which the Karma Yogi treads. Knowledge is immanent, whether it be the material domain, whether it be the spiritual domain. Our Upanishads have been that beacon of light, that source of knowledge for us for ages, for millennium. They are a part of the Vedas, and Vedas are a repository of knowledge representing a whole civilization. And in that ocean, the seers have crystallized some fundamental truths, which they call the 4 Mahavakyas. And these are Aham Brahmasmi, Tat Tvam Asi, Ayam Atma Brahma, which means I am Brahma, thou that art, and we are all verily the Brahma. And thus it emphasizes on the inherent nature, the essential nature, the enduring nature of what we are. Thus it emphasizes on the interconnect and the universality on the goodness and the godliness which is within us. And it is only through the realization of this supreme knowledge that we humans can receive the highest attainment, the greatest success of our life. The fourth Mahavakya, and that is very special. It says, Pragyanam Brahma. That is Pragya, or that distinguishing knowledge, is verily like Brahma, divine, which helps us understand what is asat, unreal, from what is sat, real, what is enduring from what is ephemeral. And thus it lays that tradition of reverence for knowledge, reverence for our gurus who are the endowers of knowledge. The fourth element of success we come to know in the anecdote of Nachiketa and Yam in the Kathopanishad. And here Yam is telling Nachiketa about the truth beyond death, which is coming from the god of death himself. He explains inter alia so many philosophies, the theory of prey and stray. And he says that we humans in our life are often faced by circumstances in which prey, which is dear to us, alluring to us, and stray, which is beneficial to us, both approach. While the knowledgeable are able to distinguish and choose stray, the weak often succumb to the allurement. And thus, the fourth element is Sanyam. And it is that element which helps us bring that discipline which makes us resolute and steadfast on the path of our karma, our success. So next time when something very enamoring is trapping you, is digressing you, just ask yourself, is it prey, is it stray, or is it just one of those passing moments? The fifth element. The fifth element is very special because this is the element which helps us understand which is better success, which is the final success, the highest attainment. Is that success worthy of the world, which is only limited to me, which cannot be shared, which is of no good to anybody else? Is that success good, which is of good to some, but causes loss and damage to the others? And if that success were good, then wouldn't it be a zero-sum game? And if success were to be a zero-sum game, then how would the world be any better off? Success has to incorporate both the principles of economics, which includes efficiency as well as equity. Well, the principle of efficiency would like to maximize our individual utilities in a system comprising many and take it to the equilibrium condition which call the experts the Pareto optimality. It is the principle of equity which conditions and which converges our equilibrium conditions to that point where there is harmony between the individual players and entities. Now, it is equity and efficiency both combined which lead us to success. Is that success relevant, which is based on economic gains but causes ecological losses? Tatvarth Sutra, a leading treatise of Jainism, says, Parasparo pagraho jivanam, which means to cooperate and to coexist is the fundamental nature of we all living beings. And therefore, success and human attainments which are shareable, which are careable, which has that empathy, which has karuna, that is the highest form of success. Success has to be inclusive. Success has to be universal. For we are an interconnected world, for we are one world. And this is the prayer of one world, which we see in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which prays for the goodness of all, for the peace of all. It says, Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyid dukh bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.